Attention, please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
Come in. Stand over there for me, please. Right, Mr. Tickle, what can we do for you today?
Ness, I'm bored. Can you show me something interesting that I can do with my body?
Certainly, try this. Please pinch your nose.
Okay.
Now drink this coffee. Now tell me, how does it taste?
I can't taste the thing.
Now take your fingers off your nose and try again.
Oh yes, that's definitely coffee.
The taste of coffee is really an aroma detected by the nose. Cut off the sense of smell and coffee seems tasteless.
Now, try this mint.
The same is true of the mint.
I can't taste that either. Thanks, Ness. That's going to keep me amused for hours.
Not at all. Bye, Mr. Tickle.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Chemistry Deathmatch! Featuring Professor John Chemical Kilcoyne and science's biggest loser, Brainiac!
Last time, Kilcoyne's smoke extended his lead to 4-2. But now, who can toast the best marshmallow?
Gentlemen, now I want a good, clean fight. I'll turn to your corners and prepare your chemicals.
Kilcoyne with carbon disulfide and white phosphorus. That's a chemical symbol P. And there it is there. Bunhead coating his confectionery with chromium oxide. And there's the ethanol, that's pure alcohol. Let's hope there's no repeat of the Christmas party.
Professor, please toast your marshmallow.
So, no matches or any other form of lighter. How is the Professor going to toast this marshmallow? He's waiting for something. Oh my! Spontaneous fire! It seems the carbon disulfide has evaporated, allowing the phosphorus to spontaneously combust with the oxygen in the air. Toasted.
Bunhead, toast your marshmallow.
Bunhead's turn, and he appears to be drinking the alcohol. Fire of the gods! He spat the alcohol onto the chromium oxide, which ignited it, and wow! Just watch that crispy critter toast. But has he done enough? And it's a victory for Bunhead! Next time, our titans of titration, let fly the sparks. Good night. 47-second science. Big science questions answered in bite-sized chunks. Is it quicker to eat a large meal one course at a time or blend it up and served as a liquid? To find out, our Brainiac will eat exactly the same meal once in traditional solid form and 24 hours later, liquefied. First to finish wins. And straight away, solid meal Brainiac demolishes the prawn cocktail starter and moves on to roast beef with all the trimmings. Liquid meal Brainiac is finding his dinner a little harder to stomach. The multi-course meal is as old as civilization itself. The liquefied meal is a modern invention enjoyed by small babies and astronauts.
But the other day, someone said that I was really ugly. Is there a scientific way that I can prove that I'm as good-looking as I know that I really am? That's from Paul Henderson in Portsmouth. Well, Paul, I sympathise with your plight. But as luck would have it, there's a mathematical constant that I think I can use to help prove your point. That constant is called the golden ratio, and it's 1 to 1.618, or thereabouts. For thousands of years, artists and architects have been using it to create objects of beauty. If certain proportions of these creations match the golden ratio, then they are universally considered to be beautiful. But can all of this be applied to us humans and determine once and for all who is beautiful and who is ugly? We grabbed 5 volunteers off the street to help us with our experiment. We're going to measure their faces and find out whether or not they're beautiful, according to the golden ratio. If the ratio between the eyes to chin measurement and the eyes to mouth measurement is equal to 1.618, then the golden ratio says they are beautiful.
Come in, come in.
It's time for our first volunteer. Do her facial appearances fit with the golden ratio?
Thank you, Brainiac. Right, I'm allowing the not particularly generous deviation of 0.1 off the golden ratio to qualify a contestant as being beautiful rather than ugly. The good news for you is that you scored 1.53, which means that you are less than 0.1 and therefore beautiful. Away you go, Brainiac.
Our second volunteer looks handsome enough, but what does the golden ratio say?
For you, I'm afraid it's bad news. You scored 1.47, which is outside of the tolerance zone. You's ugly, my friend. Away you go, Brainiac.
And after our other volunteers have been measured, we're left with the golden ratio's judgment on all 5 faces. I don't know about you, but I don't completely agree, which still leaves us unable to prove whether the golden ratio applies to the human face or not. We need definitive proof. So we're going to measure the faces of 2 people whose looks are not in any doubt. This professional glamour model and this ugly man, who incredibly gets paid just for being ugly. If the golden ratio does apply to the human face, then the proportions of this man's facial features should be way off the 1.618 mark. As for her,
I think I should probably do the measurements this time. Thank you, Brainiacs. Your services are no longer required. Off you go. Hello there.
her lovely face should pretty much hit the 1.618 mark right on the nose.
OK, so the results are in, and you may be quite surprised about what we found. Charlotte, your face has a ratio of 1.471 to 1. Incredibly, that's 0.147 off the perfect ratio. Phil, your face has a ratio of 1.619 to 1, or just 1/1000th off the perfect ratio. So I'm afraid you ought to be ugly, according to theory, and you ought to be beautiful.
And that's obviously wrong. I mean, look at them. The golden ratio might work on buildings, but it doesn't work on faces.
So, Paul from Portsmouth, I'm afraid we failed. We haven't found a mathematical way of proving that you're as good looking as you think you are. But I'm sure your mum thinks you're lovely.
Hey, you! Stop! The following experiment is dangerous. Do not try this at home. I implore you. What happens if you put a disposable camera in a big microwave? Just pop it on full power and get out of there as fast as your legs will carry you. But what will happen next? Will the camera A, melt, flashing away during its own demise? B, explode? Or C, paparazzi? Find out after the break. Also to come. There it goes! Can we parascend with a paddling pool? Can a juggler juggle whilst getting jolts from vaults? And what happens to a stuffed bear soaked in sub-zero oxygen?